Hello and welcome to viewers of Good Morning DRC TV. I hope you are all doing very well today. I want to bring you up on the latest news in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and I've got two things that I want to look at today. And today is Wednesday, the 23rd of April. What is the news in the DRC? Clashes near WALIKALE between the M23 attackers and the FRDC. Always supported by the Wazalendo. These are our hope, and these are the heroes of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So what is going on today? The M23, as you know, a rebel group that has occupied and is still occupying some territory in our country up until this very day. The same M23 that has committed crimes against humanity on Congolese soil, and it is a force that is supported and fabricated by Paul Kagame in order to attack the Democratic Republic of Congo. So what has happened today? We have learned that there are now exchange of of weapons, shootings between the FRDC, because right now it is the FRDC that is pretty much in charge of that territory. But as we have learned that it is the case that the M23 group is now trying to attack and trying to take back the territory from the FRDC. So this is going on at the moment as we speak. But it seems like what is going on is a signal being given to those who are in Doha, those who are negotiating this in order to send in a message. So the main reason why there are clashes today is simply because the M23 group has laid demand, as I mentioned yesterday, that they want to see some people who are in prison released. And amongst those people, we have Edouard Mwangachuchu, who has been in jail now for 3 years, and he has been condemned for life for his involvement in the rebel group that has tried to destroy the DRC. And there is another guy by the name of Makuba. Makuba is or was the advisor of Corneille Nangaa, who was arrested near Dar es Salaam. So things have basically stuck in Doha. They're not moving forward, and that's because, like I said, that they are asking for Mwangachuchu to be released and Makuba, and the government has said no, it's not going to give into those ground. So you can imagine, though, my point is, while all of this is happening, you can imagine the sufferings these criminals are inflicting upon the Congolese people today. Take the case of WALIKALE. So one day you wake up, it is the M23 that has gained control. The next day, it's the FRDC who's now fighting to take it back. Then another day, it's another situation. So you can basically imagine the untold suffering that my people, the Congolese people, are actually going through. And these issues does concern all of us, and we're going to talk about it today. It's just unbearable for the people in WALIKALE and in the eastern part of the DRC. It is a terrible situation. And the second issue I wanted to look at is to do with the man called Matata Ponyo, who was the former prime minister who worked under Joseph Kabila. This man has been accused of siphoning or stealing from the public fund or coffers somewhere in the region of $285 million. This was meant for an agricultural project called Bukanga Lonzo. And this man has actually spent less, put it this way, only 38 million can be accounted for on that project, and the rest has vanished. And now he is in courts, and he's going to face the judges for this situation, of which he does not want to appear, and he thinks simply that he has immunity, so he cannot appear before the judge. I have to say to my viewers, if you don't know anything about politicians in the DRC, then let me just warn you that majority of them, and the many people that we will talk about here who are actually have committed financial crimes, those who have siphoned funds from the government, they do it in millions, and it's not in thousands, it's in millions. In this case, we are talking about a guy who has allegedly stolen $285 million. There are some who have stolen 38 million. So it's always in millions. And this is what the biggest problem in the DRC. So we're going to look at Matata Ponyo and what is the situation today with him. So from what I do know is that this man is trying to avoid going to face the judge for the crimes that he has committed. But I say he cannot get away from this, because Congolese families today, there are many of them that are going hungry, many of them that are suffering. They haven't got food on the table, simply because one man has decided not to follow through with the project for which he has taken the money for. And this is a terrible, terrible situation. So while I'm saying this, I want to just raise alarm, and I want to sound an alarm rather to our security forces, or those who are in the intelligence department. I have received photos and names of people who are actually working with the M23 rebel group, and they are flying out of Sankuru. I'm from Sankuru, so that's where the nobles, they've contacted me, and they've given me information about the people who are going from Sankuru, and they travel to Kenya, and then via Kenya they go to Goma, they meet with the M23 group, and this is how they are joining them. And some of them are just basically going to get information and give information in preparation for the M23 group to invade Sankuru. And this is such a terrible, terrible situation, and it's a sad one to know that we have people who are working with the M23 to the demise of our country. So let me go back to what is happening in WALIKALE. This is really shocking, and it's a sad, sad situation. So the fight has resumed today in WALIKALE, and this is, I don't know how many times this WALIKALE has been threatened, and the fighting has been going on for a long time. But today again, Wednesday, this fight has resumed, and it's because of what is happening in Doha. Like I said, there are demands from the M23 group that they release their leader, Eduardo Mwangachuchu, and the government in Kinshasa said they are not going to give into it, and they're also asking for Makuba, who was Corneille Nanga's advisor. So the government is not ready to surrender to that, and this is basically what has prompted this clash to start again. So it's like, if things are not going right in Doha, they take up arms here, and then they start killing people, and they start doing all sorts of things in order to send the message to Doha that we want to take arms again unless you give in to what we're looking for. And this, like I said, it's a sad situation. But as far as I'm concerned, the government cannot give into it and release Mwangachuchu, because he's such a danger to our country. As I said, Mwangachuchu is from Rwanda, and Mwangachuchu works with Paul Kagame, and Mwangachuchu owns the biggest coltan mine in Rubaya. And this is what used to bring tons and loads of money to Kagame and his allies. So the international community, the international, I meant to say the international community, and all these big companies companies, big tech and everything, they relied most on the supply that they used to get from WALIKALE, from Rubaya, I mean to say. But then that has changed since obviously Mwanga Chuchu has been in jail. So they will fight tooth and nail to get the man released. And I hope our government will not release Mwanga Chuchu. So what's with everything that has happened in that region, I'm asking myself, and what is going on now that they take up arms again in WALIKALE, I'm asking myself, where is the International Criminal Court? So far, there is nothing. Where is the International Criminal Court? In this ping pong game that is taking place, it is the population that is suffering. People who say that, you hear some people say the M23 have come to liberate the people. Now, where is that liberation? What kind of a liberation is this when you make the population suffer the way that they're doing with people in WALIKALE? The M23 has destroyed the economy of the population, and yet you talk about liberation. The M23 has destroyed the infrastructure. You have killed people. You have massacred the population. You have tortured them. You have raped, and yet you say you've come to liberate them. It's too easy to say that. But I'm continually asking myself, what is Corneille Nangaa thinking when he sees all that is happening in that region? It hurts. It's painful, and it bothers me when I see all that is happening there. Look, I'm here in Kinshasa and I'm watching what is happening there. I tell you, I'm terrible. But to be in those shoes, we have to put ourselves in the shoes of the people in WALIKALE. Let's put ourselves in their shoes. These children, many of these children, what they have been through is terrible. I want to say many thanks to the artists who organized the concert in Paris yesterday. That is Maître Gims and all his camp or group of people that actually did that. That's really amazing. Congratulations to you guys. Thank you for really standing up for the children. That's what you have to do for your country. So put yourselves in the shoes of the children growing up in these kind of condition. A child who sees his father being killed helplessly, his mother being raped helplessly, he looks at it, he cries, and then what kind of life would that child have? Put yourself in these conditions that our brothers and sisters who live in this eastern part of the country are going through. In large centers like Goma and Bukavu, we hear about human rights violations and killing. But can you imagine what's going on in the village where there is no camera, where nobody knows what's going on? Well, you cannot imagine what happens there. They kill when they want to, they rape when they want to, and they put people in difficult situations. And this is terrible. And yet you have some people very easily, they stand up, they have a camera in front of them, and they lift their hands and they say, oh yes, the M23 has taken WALIKALE. But do you know what they do? Terrible situation. Like I said, I'm from Sankuru, my province, but my province is accused today because many Sankuru are joining the M23 group via Kenya. And so I'm giving out this information. I really want you to take it seriously that there are people leaving the province of Sankuru via Kenya. They go and meet with the M23 and they come back to Kinshasa. They do dealings. And this is terrible. This is very deplorable. To do this to your own country, that's terrible. So what do you gain for that? Personal interest, private interest. And you think somehow Nangaa's going to repay you for doing all of this? What kind of freedom are you looking for? So I keep ranting about this, but it breaks my heart to see all of this that is happening there in that part of our country. It's a terrible situation. But let's just go to the south of Kivu, where the situation seems to be in favor of our Wazalendo, again, our heroes, against those who are fighting for our country alongside the FRDC, which we're really proud of them. Like I always keep asking you to do, put in the comments below, say, I'm Wazalendo. They're doing such an amazing job, and I don't know where our country will be today, or at least our eastern part of the country, without them. But we have a couple of people who have left the M23 group who have surrendered to the Wazalendo, and they have explained to them what is actually going on there. They say the conditions are very difficult, and they are being asked to commit all kind of horrible things that they've had enough of this, because the people that are being killed, they are their sisters. They are the people that they have known. And they're killing their brothers and sisters. They have massacres people, and they've raped, and they said, look, we just can't take it anymore. Enough is enough, and they have surrendered. And we want to encourage more of this. We want to see more of this happen. We want to see people come back to their senses and give up arms and want to protect their country rather than fight against them. This is what we are looking for. So they surrendered to Wazalendos. Please understand my pain and understand why this does affect me. My country is suffering today for the interest of individuals who want to find themselves in position of power, of influence in government. And to do that, they have to kill so many people. They have to destroy an entire country so that an individual can find gain and power, political influence. That's cruel. You will excuse me for ranting like this, but like I said, it's really terrible. It's shocking when you hear about all of this. But yes, so we will monitor the situation throughout the evening to find out basically what will happen to what's the situation in WALIKALE. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to give you a bit more information. Just to wind up this, like I said, on Matata Ponyo, I believe that he will be charged by the court. Because remember, this hearing has been going on for a number of years, and this man has done everything to avoid paying for the things that he has done. He has done everything to avoid. But right now, it's very difficult for him because Kabila is not there to protect him. And he's asking for immunity. Who's going to give it to him? I know that he's relying on Vital Kamerhe to help him so that he does not face justice. But even Vital Kamerhe cannot do that. Even if he tries, he will not succeed. This is a different court, and this is the highest authority in that nation. And I can tell, based on the evidence that is presented at the court, this man will soon be in jail unless he crosses over and goes to the M23 and joins them. This is all that I can see. Because at one point he does not want to appear in court, but there is going to be a warrant of arrest for him. He will have to pay. Because how does that happen? How do these politicians do these kind of things when you know that there are people, the nation and people are really going through tough and difficult time, and yet you are stealing in the millions? You are taking the money out of this government, the money that could have helped thousands of people, but it goes into one man's pocket. I know it's not one man's pocket because it's a group of people, then they share it amongst them. Sad situation. Anyways, I will keep you updated. Please let me ask you, if you have not yet subscribed to this, please do subscribe to our channel, share the links, and send me your comments and tell me what you think and other subject or topics that you may have in mind. But yes, we're keeping our eyes open. We are sounding the trumpet here until the world knows and understand what is happening in our country, and that our country finds peace, a long-lasting peace. Take care of your families, and I will come to you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye for now. Bye.